Morning, everybody. We've been on for 2 weeks. If you take a look and you've been watching this, you realize my cabinets have been repainted in the kitchen. And that was an excuse not to be able to do this. So we're back. It's Thursday and it's just about 10 o'clock. So we're making breakfast as usual. Good story while I get everything laid out. First of all, we've got breakfast sausage links. We've got a nice assortment of vegetables, asparagus, little mini bell peppers, a couple of mushrooms, some onion, of course. We've got our super greens and eggs, of course. And I have some Basmati rice done in the rice cooker that started this morning when I was on my first cup of coffee. One of the things that got this whole project started was when I was diagnosed with cancer, which most people know. But before I was diagnosed, I went to my internist and said, I feel like crap and I need to know what's going on. So he said, well, I want you to go see a blood doctor. Your blood numbers don't look good, so we're going to have you checked out. He said, he's a cancer doctor, but don't worry about that. Good lie. All cancer doctors are blood cancers first. So here I'm feeling like doo-doo. And I said to my doctor, what should I eat? Pretty typical question for me, at least. And he said, and I'll never forget this as long as I live, he looked me right in the eye and he said, it doesn't matter. So of course, me being the snarky person I can often be, I said, what, Twinkies? Should I just start eating Twinkies? So of course he just walked away. So then I saw the cancer doctor and got a bone marrow biopsy. I'm cutting my asparagus nice and thin so it cooks quick. And we had a bone marrow biopsy and I went back 2 days later and he said, you have cancer. You have a rare cancer called myeloma. It's treatable, yada, yada, yada. And of course I'm in shock, as you can imagine. And so I said, okay, what's next? Well, we want you to get full body x-ray to check out your bones, see how they're doing. There's treatment plans that we can follow. I said, okay. And of course, what did I say next? What should I eat? And he, being a very well-known cancer doctor here in the city, and very gifted, and very knowledgeable, and highly respected, in 5280's best cancer doctors, yada, 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 he said, wait for it, it doesn't matter. Gotta love that. So of course I said, so I should just go on a Twinkie diet, is that it? At which point I got a blank stare and he walked out of the room. Seriously. And the nurse said, relax. She was very compassionate, said doctors don't understand this part. And they said, well, it matters to me. And she says, I know, but we're going to get you fixed up. And the next thing I know is getting referred to another doctor at another hospital. And thank God I was, because the doctors I saw were absolutely the best at the Colorado Blood Cancer Institute. And that was the start of this, because I thought, if these guys can't tell me jack doodle about food, I better take it on myself. And so I did. Okay, salt, pepper, turmeric. Every morning. Always pepper. Sausage is cooking. Life is good. While the firmer vegetables are cooking, we're going to cut up the softer vegetables, which today I've got, I love these little mini sweet peppers. They're just delicious.
They match your shirt.
They match my shirt. Except I wouldn't know that. Are they orange or yellow? I'm never sure.
Orange.
Okay.
Your cabinets are showing off your orange shirt.
Oh
too.
my God, you mean I'm color coordinated with my cabinets? My God, what will they think of next? So as usual, what I'm doing is putting in my vegetables in the reverse order of how long they take to cook. The firm vegetables, in this case broccoli and asparagus, take longer. They're in first. The peppers and onions and mushrooms will go in second. And of course the greens go in last. I have kind of a fun flavor I want to use today. We've probably done this before, but it's just a little curry paste. It's delicious, and I love the flavor. So that's going to be our little secret flavor today. And away we go. Sausages are getting cooked. These nice little breakfast wings don't take very long. They take about 3 to 4 minutes aside. These vegetables are just starting to soften up. So we're ready for peppers, onions, and mushrooms. Mushrooms have already been washed, if you were going to ask. And the next thing, of course, I'm doing for my camera person, Jody, who says I do a great MC Hammer impersonation. Ready? And there we go. Touch more salt for the veggies and a touch more oil just to make sure, because the mushrooms are going to like to drink up some of that oil. I have no problem switching back and forth between avocado and olive oil, so that's never a problem. And there's a nice eat the rainbow medley of breakfast vegetables. Enough for 2. The sausages are still a little soft. They're coming along. I'm just going to cook them till they're firm, nice and firm. They'll be medium well. And there we go. So that's always an opportunity to get things put away. Now, if you look over here, you'll notice I got carrots, onion, and celery. Part of today's project is chicken stock. I was at the school yesterday, and I wanted to go through the freezer a little bit, and we had tons of chicken bones. So I'm going to make a big batch of chicken stock this afternoon. And of course that will freeze nicely as well. We'll be able to use it for all kinds of stuff. I probably have enough bones to end up with a good 2 gallons of stock at the end. Alright. Vegetables are getting soft. You can see there's not much oil in that pan because the mushrooms are drinking it up, but everything's getting nice and soft. Proteins are firming, vegetables are softening, just the way it's written up in the cookbook manual. No, it's not. It's what I try to tell people. Proteins firm as they cook. Vegetables soften as they cook. So we're just going to cook the vegetables until they're softened, and the protein until it's firm. And that is starting to look really good. Everything's softening up. I'm going to turn the temperature down on that and throw in a good large handful big enough for 2 people, some good power greens, and just let those start to cook down.
So what do your doctors think now about nutrition?
Pardon me?
What do your doctors now think about nutrition?
Well, when I talked to my cancer doctor about it last, he was the first purchaser of the cookbook. My cancer doctor bought the first 20 cookbooks I had for sale and gave them out as Christmas presents. So that alone is pretty good. But he said something that I thought was really important and more philosophical than just nutritional, and that's what he said. Part of your treatment is to do what makes you feel whole. He says, I was so proud of you for the way you continued to work while you were in treatment. I continued to teach all during my chemo. Took a little time off for the stem cell transplant, of course, because I was basically, what's the word for it? In isolation. But he said, do what makes you feel whole. And whatever that is, it doesn't matter what it is, that's what you need to do. And because I am a chef, because it's been my career, I made sure that I got up early and made a breakfast just like this almost every day of the week. I take off Sundays and we go out to breakfast. There's my finished vegetables. My omelet pan's heating up and it's time for the eggs. Sausages are firm. Pan's way down. And, of course, this is goat butter because I do not eat cow's milk. And once the eggs hit the pan, I'll start plating up. This will be Jody's eggs, and we'll stop the filming there because I'm just going to be doing the exact same thing for myself. There we go. And last but not least, plating up. So as I mentioned, today it's Basmati rice. Still hot, so no need to reheat. I will reheat some of this tomorrow for breakfast. We're just going to get a little bit of rice on the plate. Today we're just going to do things a little separate. Normally we stack. I'm not going to stack today just to have a different look. Sausages. I cooked 5 for 2 people. So yes, we're going to cut one in half. Just because that's just what I do. Now, vegetables here. Got that nice little curry sauce on there. There we go. I can get this pan cleaned up while everything else is finishing off. And I'm still trying to teach Jody how to flip her eggs. But it will come, I promise. And that's me with my 2.5 sausages. And we're going to put the eggs on the rice so the rice absorbs the egg yolks as they come out running, and don't have to chase it all over the plate. There we go. Bon appetit, everybody. We'll see you next week.